Is it dull and cold where you are? Does summer only last 2 bloody days a year where you live? Do you live in England? Then you need Juvia's Place. Introducing the Tribe Highlighter Volume 1 by Juvia's Place. This sparkly, heavenly summer glow can take you right into the summertime, no matter what time of year it is for you. Yes, it may be really shitty and dull outside, and you may feel like slitting your goddamn throat, but with Juvia's Place, you know that you can have summertime anytime. It may be a cold bitch winter, but you are going to make it a hot girl summer. With Juvia's Place, The Tribe Highlighter Volume 1. Purchase this highlighter at your local Ulta store in the US, or if you're international, you can purchase it on www.juviasplace.com. Sometimes in relationships, you look for somebody who has the same views and traits and personal attributes that you enjoy. The ones that you want in your life. Good wit to keep you laughing, loyalty to stick around through thick and thin, a pure heart so you know that their intentions are good, intellect so you can have an intelligent conversation sometimes. The point is that love is transactional. People are afraid to say this, they hate the idea that love is transactional, but it is. You give a piece of yourself in order to receive a piece back from your partner. And if both of these pieces that are in exchange are good, positive pieces, then you have yourself a healthy relationship. And then there's Anna and Robert.
Yo, what the is up with you in Miami?
Don't talk to me like that when I throw that wine in your face. You think you are?
If you want to see two people who want something from each other, yet are not willing to do anything more than the bare minimum in order to get it, then you need to look no further than Anny and Robert.
Petty. Most of these bitches is petty.
Robert is by far the most selfish man alive, and Anny wants the entire world for a bit of tits and ass. Anny and Robert met online through mutual friends on Facebook. That's a lot that they want to tell you, but I'm inclined to believe that they found each other in a different way. After speaking and video chatting for a while on social media, Robert decided to take things that one step further. He decided that he was going to do what it is that he needed to do as a man to obtain his woman. He was not going to stop at anything to get his woman. So Robert decided that oceans could not come between them, that near or far, wherever she is, he was gonna be there for 24 hours because it's an all-inclusive boat cruise and he has to get back on deck like ASAP. So he took a trip to the Dominican Republic on a 12-stop boat cruise that ended up stopping for 1 day in the Dominican Republic. Whilst he was there in the Dominican Republic, he seized his opportunity to finally meet the woman that he'd been spending so much time speaking to. Apparently what had happened was a whirlwind romance, and after spending an entire day on a hotel resort together, which was probably all-inclusive so he didn't have to pay for a single thing, he broke. He decided to propose to Anny without a ring. That should have told you everything it is that you needed to know. Anny, sweetie, it's not looking good for you. So after going on this boat cruise, stopping off in the DR, obtaining that coochie, Robert then leaves. And just like every other guy who boinks you and leaves, Robert sold Anny a dream. He pretended he was a baller when in reality he had nothing. He was the biggest catfish that I have ever seen. If you ever see that light skin eye situation, and you guys know what I'm talking about though, when they're squinting like they've got dust in their eye, then you know that you've got yourself a catfish on your hands. Shortly after that, they applied for the K1 visa and got approved. Again, who is approving these K1 visas? They spent less than 24 hours together. And yet someone was there going, yeah, this looks correct. Okay, approved. So let's take a look at all of the lies it is that Robert has told her in order to get her to come to the United States of America. So he told Anny that he was going to buy her a new wardrobe.
You can bring me buy some clothes because I don't bring a lot of clothes.
I'll take you out to go pick up some things.
Today?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in preparation for her arrival in the US, Annie decided that she wasn't going to bring that much stuff with her. She was leaving for an amazing new life in the US, and she had a man who told her that he was going to be able to buy her all of the clothes that she needed. A whole new wardrobe. So when it was time for Robert to make good on that promise that he had given to Annie, he took her to a thrift store.
Is used? Mm-hmm. All used clothes?
What?
Do you bring me to buy used clothes?
Okay, but it's in perfectly good shape. What's the problem?
I don't
It's
use
no holes. It looks pretty. It looks new.
Now there is absolutely nothing wrong with a thrift store. You can get some gems at those second-hand places. But the girl is from the Dominican Republic, a country that is heavily saturated with travel and tourism. So she had clothes. She had good clothes. And she left her good clothes in order to come to America to get better clothes. I'm sure the things that Annie was buying in the Dominican Republic weren't second-hand. And I'm not saying that this isn't something that she should be grateful for, just that I kind of feel like he sold her the idea that she was going to get Chanel, Givenchy, Balenciaga. And the girl didn't even get Target. She didn't even get Walmart. She didn't even get the 99p store. She got the equivalent of your local charity shop. Robert's broke. The second lie that he told is that he was going to be giving Annie the wedding of her dreams. And when it came time for Robert to make good on that offer, his response was a little hostile to say the least.
Wait, you think I made the money? Courthouse and boom, that's it.
Robert, why did you say that she could have these things and then take them away? He got no money. Then he told her that he would get her an iPhone.
Yeah, she want an iPhone when she gets here, but other than that, nah. She don't really bother me too tough about giving her stuff.
But once again, when it was time for Robert to make good on these promises, he didn't fulfill. He got no squiller. In fact, it took ages of Anna begging and begging and begging for an iPhone until he finally made good on that promise. He got no cheddar. And I mean, an iPhone would be extremely important. She wants to be able to FaceTime her family and her friends back in the Dominican Republic. Without a decent phone, it pretty much isolates her in the US. So of course she's going to want an iPhone so that she can have some level of socialization. There ain't no peas, bro. He told her that he was going to rent a bigger apartment. But once again, when it came to the time that Robert had to make good on this promise, he made, yet again, more excuses.
I had recently renewed my lease.
Okay, so you just renewed your lease for a year?
Yes.
Okay.
Why you pay that?
Because you wasn't here yet.
I don't want to wait a year for move.
You don't want to wait a year to move.
No, I want to move now.
I mean, it's pretty obvious what it is that Robert wanted from Anna. He wanted a live-in nanny. Move over, Fran Drescher, there is a new nanny in town. Just be thankful that you don't have 5 other kids to contend with. He is not financially stable. Even Bryson's grandparents felt that same way, that he was looking for a live-in nanny. And speaking of grandparents, Bryson's grandmother is 47 years old and is the adult actress Diamond Fox with 3 X's. I can't figure out why, with a real name that is Stephanie Woodcock, she would decide that she needed an adult actress name. Like your surname is Woodcock. Woodcock. Like you were born for this. You ain't new to this, you true to this. You ain't made for this, you got laid and then paid for this. You didn't choose the fuck life chose you. And hey, I'm not a hater. Adult work is real work. I mean, shit, one of my cousins is one of the best paid UK adult actresses. Because we go hard, fam. The Christie dynasty, bro. But I'm just pointing out the obvious. With a name like Woodcock, you would expect that that person would be given a Woody from birth. But Anna's reaction to this revelation of porn star grandma is priceless.
I'm a porn star?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, hey! Just because your pum-pum landed you an au pair job and hers equals cash in the bank doesn't mean that you need to get salty, sis. At this point, porn star Granny's vaginal decisions has upgraded her lifestyle more than your vaginal decisions have with Robert. Just saying. He isn't financially secure. So with Robert pretty much being a disappointment all around, and Annie simply not getting the message. His cash-in does not match his banking. Robert enlists his sister to pretty much just break it down for her. He's broke!
A lot of stuff he say, you're gonna do it, you're gonna be nice.
Okay, wait. Annie, do you know he's, like, poor?
So then, in order to manipulate Annie further, he enlists Bryson to come along and to bring a sense of family and togetherness on her birthday.
It's easy to deal with Annie. The only thing I gotta do is try to butter her up a little bit, and she falls for it.
And how does Annie react? By going to a strip club. Hey! This bitch is straight savage.
I wanna go something nice, like dancing place, street club.
What?
I wanna go to the street club.
For what?
Robert looks as if he is experiencing deep levels of trauma. Like, my dude looks horrified.
Annie was having more fun than me, which is really odd.
The next day, Annie and Robert are at the table discussing last night's antics. Robert decides to ask Annie if she has ever been with a woman.
Have you been with a woman before?
Like me touch her, no, but she touched me, yes. She kissed me and my... So it was very nice.
And honestly, Robert looks as if he is reliving his trauma all over again. When Annie brings up the suggestion, maybe there could be more than two in their bedroom.
We can do it together when somebody else told you for you enjoy too. That's a nice surprise.
It's not a nice surprise at all.
Like, I don't understand this. Maybe I'm just like, I know, but I don't understand this. Like, a woman who wants you to bring another woman into the bedroom for a guy, usually, like 99.9% of cases for heterosexual men, that is like the best news that a woman could bring. And I get it, some people just aren't into sharing. But Robert seems to be taking this deeply personal.
That's not something that I want. That's not something that I want in my household. That's not something that I want around my kid.
And I honestly feel as if this was Annie's way of being able to tell him, I can do whatever I want, I can see whatever I want, I can date whoever I want. Basically letting Robert know, don't you ever for 1 second get to thinking you're irreplaceable.
I don't know if you're gonna give me what I want because I am a adventurous girl and I have a lot of fantasies and I wanna try. And you are so boring. And that's it.
Well, fine then.
Yes. Bye.
And that is pretty much where we leave off. Robert is the broke clown-ass joke, and Annie did not decide to put a price on her fanny. He does not do online banking, his bank is on the line. And ultimately, throughout all of this, these adults or grown-ass adults can play their own games, but I always feel uncomfortable when there is a child in the situation. It is quite obvious to me that Bryson has become very, very close with Annie.
My nephew adores her. If they don't work, Bryson is gonna be heartbroken.
So if the pair of them break up, they also have to realize that when she breaks up with him or he breaks up with her, also Bryson is involved in that breakup. I feel as if Annie was sold a lie by Robert, and for that reason, she's never ever going to be able to trust him. The ATM says no, and Robert just wants to do the bare minimum to have his live-in nanny with a fat ass and some big old titties. He cannot financially subsidize you. Like I said in the beginning, love is transactional. You give a piece of yourself in order to get a piece of your partner. Transaction declined. And at this point, I kind of feel as if Robert exchanged lies and manipulation for Annie's hypersexuality and overtly crazy sex drive. The things that originally drew him to her, and now the things that he seems to despise about her character. And the lies that he sold her simply were not true, and now she's stuck in the US with a job that she did not apply for. Do like his checks do, and bounce. But tell me what it is that you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think about this whole entire situation? I honestly think that Robert knew what he was doing when he was selling her a lie and is now hating the fact that he has become the perpetual disappointment. But don't listen to me, because some of these bitches is petty.
Most of these bitches is